Welcome, everyone, to this episode of the Real Producers Partners podcast. I'm your host, David Owen, and today we're joined by um, a Real Producers person, Rachael Johnson. She's the Real Producers Partner Care Manager, Client Care Manager, excuse me. Welcome, Rachael. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
So tell us what a care manager does and how's the best way for people to contact you?
Client care manager is exactly that. I take care of the clients, our partners. Um, if you have an intro that you would like to have with a realtor or even another partner, I'll do that. I'll take care of that. Any updates you need to like your address or your credit card information, things like that, I take care of that. Just anything. If you have any questions about anything, I'll help you out. So I am all about the partners, helping partners connect with other people.
So what's the best way for folks to contact you? Is it email? Is it text? Do you have
Um, Email, text, phone call. I like a phone call. I love a phone call. I feel like that's more personable than a text.
okay?
Text me, you can always kind of misconstrue. It just doesn't sound right. So I prefer a phone call. But I will work with an email and a text or even Facebook Messenger as well.
So why don't we give them your phone number and then they can,
Yeah. My phone number is 636-428-4413.
okay, great. So how long have you been in this role? Is this your only role?
No, this isn't my only role. My other role is an event coordinator as well. But I've been in this role, let's see, what is this month? July? I guess it's been 4 months,
Okay,
somewhere around there. But
okay,
I've been with Real Producers over 2 years. So I started as an account executive.
okay.
From there, I went into operations. I was operations manager. And then I moved to client care.
So you know how everything works.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned from Miss Diane, of course. And there's stuff that I still learn. So I always tell clients, our partners, I do know a lot. If I don't, I will make sure I will find out for you. And I'll let you know, hey, I don't know that answer. Let me find out. I don't want to give wrong information. And then we'll move forward.
So, do you want to hear from partners? Do you want to hear from realtors? What kind of contacts would you like to make?
I really want to hear from the partners. So I do make phone calls in each of our markets just to talk to the partners, touch base, make sure everything's going good. You're getting your publication, you're getting all of the communications from Diane and myself and our team, um, just things like that. So, yeah, I want to hear
Sure.
from the realtors as well, but I'm more um, specifically for partners.
It sounds to me like you're the day-to-day person. If you have a question, contact you.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, what do you enjoy about this new role?
um Building connections more than what I was able to do in the past. In the past, it was more of the back end of Real Producers, making sure everything ran smoothly, making sure everybody was kind of doing what they should do. Whereas now, I get to build connections. I get to help people with their businesses. So I really enjoy that. I am just a complete nerd when it comes to
Well,
that.
that's fun. That's fun. So you get to meet lots of new people, learn more about all kinds of companies that are partnering with real producers.
Correct.
Are you involved with any advertising? How does that work?
I am not involved with the ads. We do have a wonderful ad team. Now, if you were like, Rachel, I need to update my ad, I don't know who to contact, I can put you in contact with our ad team. Other than that, I don't really, I don't really mess
Yeah,
with
you
those.
don't handle any of the details, right?
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
All right. So you've been here. Is this the best job you've had at
It
Real
is.
Producers?
Yeah, yeah, I really like it. I've always enjoyed my time with Real Producers. Um, but this is like I'm in the forefront. I get to talk to people. I get to, help everybody out. And I'm a big person that just wants to help everybody. My past life, I was, a surgical dental assistant in pediatrics. I loved helping kids. I worked for the state of Missouri, helping kids, a children's division. I ran, a law office. I helped, run a law office. I didn't run it myself, but I worked in a law office where you could help, families and things. So this really put me in that good spot where I know I can excel and help everybody else excel as well.
Sure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I would like a role like that when I get to meet people. The worst thing is sitting in an office just wondering what's going on rather than being out finding out what's going on.
Right. And then on top of that too, I get to help with the event. So I like to look for different places, get people together, and I work with Diane with that. I usually spearhead that. So if there is a really cool place in your market that you just was like, you would think that would be a great place for us to have an event, reach out and let me know that too.
Okay.
Always helpful. I always say, partners, especially in different markets, know their area, um, and they know the best places. So we do reach out. We just actually think we sent out a like a survey
Okay.
that was asking for different locations in the different markets. So that's always fun too.
So do you get involved in the different markets that Real Producers is in?
Yes. So we have St. Louis, Metro East Illinois, New Orleans, Chesapeake, and we just have Milwaukee now.
Yeah.
So yes, I do all of those markets. So I'm not specifically just St. Louis. I'm based in St. Louis. I live there, but I work across the board.
So if um, a listener or a viewer wants to talk to you and they're on the East Coast, they can call you.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually just spoke with a couple of partners in Chesapeake yesterday, and in New Orleans as well.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's great to know because it's many times you sign up to do things and then you're like, who do I call?
So when you sign up, I do a welcome call.
Okay.
So Diane sends out an email that says, hey, welcome to Real Producers. Here's all of your point of contacts. I immediately go and send my own email that says, hey, I'm your client care manager. Nice to meet you. Let's book a call. From there, you book the call. I go over every event, any lunches, anything and everything that is your market specifically, I go over and make sure that you are getting everything that you need. You understand everything. I explain documents that sit in your welcome email. You get the partner badge, which is really cool. So everybody kind of knows what's going on.
And then you can set them up to be a guest on the podcast as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's part of my call too, is that I'm like, hey, by the way, we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Let's set you up.
Remarketing.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn, but
Yeah.
we'll do this for you and
Yeah.
put your word out in the marketplace.
Yeah. And it's really cool. And there are people that are like, oh man, really a podcast? I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So
Yeah.
get really excited. It's really cool.
Yeah. It is fun. So what you talked about some of the things you do and what you enjoy a little bit. So what's advice that you would have for partners that have an interest in maybe they're on the fence, maybe they're someone who you that has inquired but hasn't pulled the trigger, so to speak.
You won't regret it. You will make so many connections. You will build your business. It will be good. Make sure to be active. Make sure, even if you don't understand something, please ask. If you have an idea, let me know. I'm open to ideas. I will help with questions. I recommend to attend events. So we have in every market, we have events every, I would say 3 to 4 quarters each market. And there may be some things in between that. Like for instance, St. Louis, we have a lunch. Attend the lunches. You got to eat, right? Why
Yeah.
not go to lunch, kill two birds with one stone, go to lunch and eat some good food and make some good connections. If you can go to the big events, I would say do that. If you have somebody that can go with you in your office, bring them, divide and conquer, because in a room of 100, 200 people, you're not going to meet everybody. You're
Yeah.
not going to touch base. I mean, you're going to want to, but you're not, it's just not going to happen. So make sure you bring somebody with you. Always have business cards. Always have business cards, whether they be the physical or the electronic. And even I always carry a notebook in my purse, like a little notebook. I jot down notes. Even if you have that with you, you can jot down, hey, I really wanted to meet so and so and I didn't get to meet them, because it's a little overwhelming. And by the time you get home, you're like, man, I really wanted to meet that painter, but I don't know what his name was. Well, if you have, a little notebook or something, you can jot down information, you can refer back to that. So, or sometimes people run out of business cards at the event and you still need to write down their information instead of, trying to guess.
Sure.
You can write it down, you can put it in your phone, you can ask me. I have their information too, but that's the best thing I can tell everybody.
Well, you have to register for the lunch, so you guys know kind of who's coming.
Yes, we do, which is awesome. But however, sometimes there are people that don't think they can make it, and then all of a sudden it starts at 11:15 and it's 10:30, and they're like, "Oh man, I can go," and they just go, and that's fine, no problem whatsoever. Um, but the registration may be closed, so we
Mhm.
may not have that in the system. So we try to get it whenever you get there, as well. Have you write it down?
So go to the event if you know when it is, even if you haven't registered, you ought to go.
Right. Yeah. Um, Especially like the big events, it might be closed on what we use as Eventbrite to buy your tickets. Eventbrite might be closed, but still come, because we will offer tickets at the door unless it's a sold out event.
Okay.
But if it's a not sold out event, we do post, hey, there's still tickets available on Facebook. There might be a text that might go out that says it's still available. Come anyway. I have had people literally on the highway and they're calling me and Diane and they're like, can we still come? We're halfway there. We're like, yeah, yeah, come. Come, register at the door, no big deal. We always have somebody at registration.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what big events are there, notable events coming up that um
There
people
are.
want to know about?
There are, and they are coming out in the email. So partners get a partner sneak peek. The realtors also get a realtor newsletter. And it says, all of the information there for every event coming up about a month or two in advance. So you are well aware. It's nothing that we're going to kind of spring on you. So there are events coming up in October and November, I believe, in all markets.
Okay. And what's an
Sponsorship.
example of one event?
There is one in St. Louis in October. I believe that's a realtor panel.
Okay.
So that's going to be a fun thing. We're going to have some real estate agents there talking on different topics. It's good for vendors. It's good for the other realtors as well. I'm thinking, trying to make something where the partners could be very involved. So
Uh-huh.
watch for an email for that. Um, there's another event in New Orleans. I believe it's something around the same thing. I believe that's also October. There's one in Metro East coming up at Papo's. That is in November. There's one in Milwaukee, I believe that's also October. And then there's also, I believe, October, November for Chesapeake. So everybody has one coming up. There's going to be emails for sponsorships, where Diane outlines everything that you would get in a sponsorship, how much it costs. Occasionally we might do a co-host. So in Metro East, we're looking at having a co-host with the SIBR Real Estate Board. So keep an eye out for us, opportunities all over the place.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. There are events coming up. Do you have a calendar, an online calendar, if they missed the email? Because
So
we all get busy and miss some of
yeah,
those things.
I do understand that. There is in social media, and I understand everybody doesn't have social media. I'll touch on that in a minute. But everybody that has social media, make sure that you are a part of the partner group and the group, Real Producers group on Facebook. So each market has, like St. Louis has St. Louis Real Producers Partner Group, St. Louis Real Producers Group. Milwaukee has Milwaukee Partner Group, Milwaukee Group, and so on in every market.
So
And
you can just go to Facebook and
you can
look
go
for the groups.
yes, and get in your group, and there's an event tab. You should be able to click the event tab and everything comes up because we post things
Okay.
there as well.
Okay.
Now, and there are people that are not on social media, and that is fine, but we also send out not just text, we do, or emails, we also do text.
Okay.
And when it's usually closer to an event, I'll call and say, hey, here's your reminder while I'm checking with partners too. So there's more than one way of knowing about an event. If you are unsure about an event and you're like, man, I thought one was coming up, I'm not really sure, go ahead and contact me and I will send you the information you need, the link and with all the information, things like that. So there's always a way to know the partner sneak peeks, the newsletters, things like that. And it's also in the publication as well under
Okay.
the. Mm-hmm.
Great. Great. So, does a partner automatically get a publication?
Yes.
Okay.
If you are not getting your publication, let me know, because that is one of the things that comes with your partnership is a physical copy of the publication, not just a digital copy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what other things are important about your role that we ought to know about?
I will say this about the publication. I want to kind of backtrack. If you move and you have your mail forwarded, that publication, the post office does not forward. So
Okay.
just keep that in mind too. So if you move and you know what the address is going to be, you know where you're going, let me know as soon as possible so you can get that next month. Otherwise, I don't know what the post office does. I think they just send it to your old address and then you don't get it.
Yeah. It just
So
shows up and somebody else gets it.
yeah. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
yes. That's about it, really. I'm
So
here.
once again, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 636-428-4413. My email
Okay.
is rachaelj@n2co.com. That's RACHAEL J for Johnson at N as in Nancy, the number 2, CO.com.
Okay. All right.
And then on Facebook too is Rachael J. So if we're emailing back and forth, you will see all of that in my signature as well.
So getting a hold of you ought to be easy.
Very, very easy.
Straightforward.
Yes. Make sure to please check out our website. That is something I tell everybody, new partners,
Okay.
You can see it's realtorfocus.com, one word. You can see what's going on in other markets. You can see any digital copies. You'll see the cover. So if you want to have a past copy of the digital magazine, there's a form that you fill out. You send that, me and Diane get it to you. We verify who you are before we just send it out.
Sure.
So yeah, go play around with that. You can look at different podcasts. You can schedule your podcast as well. And if you have problems with that, reach out to me and I will help walk you through it, or we can just do it over the phone and take care of it as well.
Great. Great. Well, I've enjoyed our conversation. Is there anything else you want to add?
If you have a copy of the publication, take it with you for reference. Mark the website as a favorite on your laptop, desktop, and even your mobile phone. I
Okay.
like to use it when I'm on the go, personally and professionally. So if I have somebody that's like, I really need a painter, I can just pull it out on my phone and say, okay, hey, I'm going to screenshot this and send it to you. I have everybody's information in my phone, but I like to kind of show off our website and,
Sure.
and our
Well,
publication.
sure. I
So
can
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. So I would say definitely bookmark it. If you have a copy, you can take it with you. Um, there's a ways to win document. It's super, super, super helpful that Diane sat down and put together, and it's got really good points. If you don't have that document, let me know. I will forward it to you. Each mark.
What does that document?
It gives you it's like a success blueprint. I'll call it that with real
Okay.
producers. So it has different ideas of partners to use with real producers. Let me think of one like if you have a realtor, you have, oh, excuse me, let's rewind. You have a publication, there's a realtor, we'll call realtor Bob. Bob has an article and you really want to meet with Bob. It gives you an idea of how to use that publication to meet with Bob.
So
So
use it as a door
it's
opener.
like,
So to
yeah,
speak.
yeah, it's kind of a guide. If you want to go over it, I can go over it with you. We can talk more detail into it. It's a document that I love. It's a document that I really make sure everybody has and have them refer it to. So if you don't have ways to win in your market, please let me know and I will send that to you. If you ever want to just talk about something, you have some questions about real producers, please let me know that as well. I am here to help.
Yeah, it sounds like you're there as a resource
Hmm.
for success within real producers.
Correct. Correct.
And, to some extent, the experience in the marketplace, you can share that success across the whole market, the individual marketplaces that you're in, but
Yeah.
in general, what has been successful in the real estate relative terms, um, in every area you're in.
Correct. And even realtors, I have realtors that reach out to me and ask, who do we have for a certain thing? Like, do we have a roofer? Do we have a plumber? Do we have a
Okay.
painter, interior designer? So I will make that too. So partners are not the only ones that can reach out. Realtors can reach out too.
Okay. Are you open to other people giving you referrals of potential partners?
Yes. So what that looks like is if you know somebody that would be a great fit for real producers, you can let me know, send me their information. I'll give them a call and schedule a call with Diane. Diane will kind of go and do her thing from there. But yep, if you have anybody you think that's a good fit, please let me know.
Okay. All right. Well, I've enjoyed our conversation
Yes.
and thanks for your time, and we'll talk again soon.
Great. I hope everyone has a great day. Have a great day, David.
All right.
Thank you.